What I wanted to learn in my presentation is will older seeds germinate as well as the newer seeds? I have forget-me-not, old, and old-fashioned mixture. I found these when my grandmother died. And then I have the new set, which the company gave to me. I found seeds, the seed packets, these ones right there. When my grandmother died in August of 2011, she was a school teacher, and so in her memory, I wanted to do this project on seeds. I determined the approximate year of the seeds was 1995, which is 2 years before I was born, so in memory of my grandmother, and then also it was so close to my birthday that I felt it was a really neat one. We ordered new seeds from the company. They were generous enough. They sent me 4 brand new packets of seeds, 2 of each, for free because they figured it's a science experiment. So for free, I got 4 brand new packets of seed from the company. This is a picture of me putting them on put them on the paper plates because it was easier to find the seeds on our table instead of just on the paper plates instead of on the regular table because seeds are small. I borrowed seed planters from the school egg department at my school. Labels that said mixture new, mixture old, forget-me-not new, and forget-me-not old for all the planters and all the plates. All the planters and all the plates matched. These are the forget-me-not seeds. This is the new packet of the forget-me-not seeds. They're really, really small, so it was kind of hard to find them. Place each planter on its own plate with its matching label. Put soil in all 6 slots of each planter. With a popsicle stick, made a little hole for the seeds to be planted in. And at the end of my presentation, I'll let a couple of you guys come up and help me plant the seeds in the soil. Put the correct seeds in each designated planter. I put 3 forget-me-not seeds in each hole. I put a pinch of the old-fashioned because there's so many different types of old-fashioned. If you counted out 3 seeds, you wouldn't get anywhere with the seeds and you'd have one type of flower and it'd be really boring. Cover the seeds with soil and slightly compact the soil using my finger. These are the seeds in the planters. They were just planted 20 minutes before this picture was taken, so they are very small and very fragile, so if you push too hard on the seeds, they will break. Move the planters and plates and planters of seed from my working area of the table to a south-facing window with lots of sunshine. Seeds, in order to grow, must have lots of sunshine along with vegetables, fruits, flowers. Any type of seed has to have sunshine. Water the newly planted seeds with a squirt from a bottle. I just gave it a little squirt, and I made sure each seed had the same amount of water each day. Tape the end of the seed packets to preserve extra seed. I had done this experiment in October, and since October, my seeds got misplaced, so they are not here with me today, unfortunately. Cleaned up the mess of the soil and the water that was all over the table. This is an old seed packet of old-fashioned. As you can see on the seeds there, they are really small, so that is why I did put a pinch of them. There's so many different varieties of seeds in this seed packet. Every 2 days, recorded data in my book, which if you would like to come up later and see my board, take a closer look at it and see my book, you are certainly welcome to. And if necessary, I watered the plants with a squirt. This is a new package of the mixture seed. You can see how the seeds are awful small, and there's a couple different varieties in the seeds in the new ones than there was in the old ones, so some of those, like these right here, new compared to the old packet. Rotated the seed planters to help ensure that they got identical sunshine so that if the seed in like this, and then I would turn it like this so that all 6 of them would get sunshine within the week or 2. All other plates are shifted 1 space to the right and turn the planter 180 degrees and lined up parallel with window. This is me watering the seeds. As you can see some of the plates there, and then you can see the labels on the planters. This made sure I could keep track of the growth of the different seeds. This is old seed with little germination. Can't really see anything. There's a couple little specks there, but not much. New seed with good germination, lots of little buds coming out, flowers starting to go, and really interesting. My conclusion is that my hypothesis was wrong. Older seeds do not germinate as well as newer seeds, but they do germinate, depending on the seed type. My new forget-me-not seed germinated, while the old forget-me-not seed did not germinate at all. This was a 3-week experiment, and in that 3 weeks, I did not see any germination out of the forget-me-not old. My analysis is older seed is not as likely to germinate as newer seed. It is important to be aware that older seed is the likely it will be to germinate. It doesn't mean it won't germinate. It will germinate. It just may be harder to get it to germinate. My project would benefit who is an avid gardener who finds older seed and wants to know if they would work well as buying newer seed so they don't have to buy new seed every year. If I were to continue this experiment, I would get seeds from this year and the next 5 years to compare their germination. I would have loved to use a more variety of seeds, but this is all my grandmother had. Thank you for coming. It's supposed to say coming. Can I have 6 volunteers come up on stage, please? It can be anybody. It doesn't matter. Pick a color. Pick a color. Due to dirt is messy and soil, you cannot get anywhere with it, so I didn't want to make a big mess. I will be demonstrating with the soil, but I gave them all Play-Doh, so they can take it home with them and they can remember my project. Here's a popsicle stick. Alright, open up your Play-Dohs. And then you're going to take a sec. You're going to take your popsicle stick and you're going to poke it in your dirt or your Play-Doh so you have a little hole for your seed. Thank you. Then you can take a paper clip. These are for the seeds because the seeds are expensive and out of stock at the moment. We don't have seeds with us today for you guys to plant. So, yeah. And then you plant your seed, you plant your paper clip or your seed in your Play-Doh. And hopefully in a couple weeks your seed will come out and will be bigger, as I showed you in the pictures, with real dirt, not Play-Doh. You guys can take the Play-Dohs with you. Please leave the, these things, whatever they're called. Popsicle sticks, sorry. Popsicle sticks and the paper clips on the table. And you guys can take your Play-Doh with you. Thank you for helping me. That's it. Oh, do you have any questions? No, the old-fashioned mixture right here, those ones did grow. I did see a lot of growth in those. But the forget-me-nots did not germinate at all. But the old-fashioned mixture did germinate. I did see germination of that one. It was a project for school, but for 4-H, I wanted to make a 4-H project that would go towards school. So I basically made it for 4-H, but I used it as a school project. With what? Because with doing it for a school project, I did it for 4-H, but then I turned it in as a school project. We had to have them in for school at a certain time, and I actually got permission from the teacher to do my experiment a week longer than most kids did. I used a squirt bottle, and it only had a top like this big. It was really small, and so I could squirt, and I could make sure I just squirted an even amount in the seeds. Yes? Yeah, that might impact it. I haven't looked completely into it. I'd have to do some research if I was to continue on. I'm just not the type of person that I'll do a project 1 year and then the next year I'll do something different. I'm just like that. I can't do 2 projects in the same category more than 1 year. I could probably do it, but I'd find it really boring. So, yes? I took it to State Science Fair in Ames, and they have a seminar down there, which is where you do it like this. You do it orally. You really don't have your board there, and what I did with that is I did have other research with my project. It's on my computer at home, so I didn't want to. I do believe I have some of it in my book, though, if you would like to look. There is some research in here, probably 3 pages worth of research. So, yeah. Yes? They found a 2,000-year-old seed that they did get to germinate. It had been stored in, like, a journal, and then was stored in a box, and they finally found it, and they did get it to germinate, and it was really cool. I got to see pictures of how it, like, grew up and stuff, and, yeah. 2,000-year-old. I don't know. Yes? It might. And if you have really dry soil, your seed's not going to grow. But if you have really wet soil, it's not going to grow either. So, also, like, I pushed all my seeds down, but I used my thumb, and I just barely pushed them down so that, because the seeds are so fragile, you don't want to break their tops or the bottoms off of them. Yep.